Hello everyone and welcome back to Joys That Flies. If you're new here, my name's Cassidy and I deal with the sewing side of this channel. So I just want to quickly say, please don't skip this intro. I know I'm just as guilty as the next person for getting bored and skipping intros and sewing tutorials to get to the actual sewing. But there are quite a few important notes that I'm going to say in this intro, and also things can get a bit confusing later on when I talk about what fabric you're going to be needing. So it's definitely worth it for you to watch this full intro, and so it will stop you from getting confused later on. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to sew the Joy bag. Now the Joy bag was a bag that I designed recently because I needed an everyday bag. I don't actually like carrying bags around with me, but when I go out somewhere, I do need something to put all my stuff in. So I designed the Joy bag so that it would be the perfect bag for everyday use. It can fit lots of stuff in it, but it's not too big and bulky. And the thing I love about the bag is I made it a bit more fun and unique by adding patchwork quilting onto it. Now I've recently been obsessed with patchworking. I think it's so fun, and I think it's the perfect way to make something your own. So the main thing that you're going to need to sew the bag is of course the pattern, and don't worry, this is a free PDF pattern. Now the next thing you're going to need is the fabric, but this is where things get a bit confusing because there are quite a few different fabrics that I like to use. But just remember, if you want to change the design in any way and choose different fabrics in different places, please go ahead and do so. The construction of the bag is actually quite simple, so if you want to change what fabric you use where, it's actually quite simple and you can have fun, experiment and make it unique to you. But if you want to do the same design as me, this is the fabric you're going to need. So starting inside to out, you're going to need a lining. I just do one plain cotton piece of fabric, and you don't need too much of it. Next, you're going to need batting or wadding. I can't remember which one's the UK name and which one's the US name, but you're going to need batting that you would normally use in a quilt. It doesn't have to be too thick or heavy, just something that's going to hold the shape of the bag really well. Now, this is the fabric you're going to need for the outside of the bag. So this is where things get a bit confusing, because in my design, I like to have one main outer fabric, and this is what I use for the base, the straps and things like that, the parts that are not patchwork. So choose one fabric that you have enough of to do for the base and the straps and things like that. And then next you're going to need an assortment of fabrics, whatever you like, for the patchwork. And I only do the patchwork on the main pieces of the bag, so the two sides. These I have as patchwork, and I generally use any scraps that I have that I think match really nicely together. Okay, now we've got the confusing part out of the way. Here is the rest of the stuff you're going to need for the bag, and that is nice and simple. It's just 2 zips, both 9 inches long, and then you're going to need just your general sewing equipment, so your sewing machine, scissors, things like that, cutting out tools and everything like that. And so now that we've got all of that out of the way, let's go and print off the PDF pattern. So all you need to do is follow the first link in the description, and then you can print off your PDF pattern at 100% scale. Then I'm just going to quickly show you how I like to piece my PDF patterns together. And all you're going to need to do is trim each corner at the page border. And then once you've trimmed all the corners, you can see those little quarters of a circle at each corner. All you're going to want to do is match those all up. I find just trimming the corner off makes it really easy to see where they need to be joined up, and then you can just sellotape it all together. And then once you've assembled all of the pages, you can cut all of your pattern pieces out. Now you're just going to want to cut out all of your pattern pieces out of their fabric, and you can find out what pieces to cut out of what fabric on the pattern piece itself. And you're going to want to cut out all of your pieces out of your lining, your batting and your main outer piece, but don't cut out anything for your patchwork yet, because we're going to go into that in detail in a moment. Make sure you also transfer all notches and any markings on the pattern onto the wrong side of your fabric. So now we should have cut out everything out of our various different fabrics apart from the patchwork, which we'll do in 2 seconds. But first of all, I just want to have a quick run through of everything that we should have cut out, just to make sure we've all got the right pieces and things like that. So starting off, here is everything you should have cut out of your lining fabric. So you're going to want to have 2 main pieces, 1 inner pocket piece, 1 lining base piece and 1 outer pocket piece. Now here's everything you should have cut out of your wadding. 2 main pieces, 1 outer base piece, piece and 2 strap tabs. Now here's everything you should have cut out of your main outer fabric. So this is the one fabric on the outside that isn't patchwork, and that is 1 outer base piece, 1 strap piece, 2 zipper tabs, and 2 strap tabs. So now that we've done that, let's assemble the patchwork. So the thing I love about patchwork is that you can kind of do whatever you like. You can have fun, do your own thing. And so in the next steps, if you're thinking the instructions are a bit vague, that is kind of how it's supposed to be. I don't know really how to explain it any other way, but there's not really any maths. You just kind of go with the vibes and things like that and just do what you like. So I'm going to show you my way of going around doing patchwork, and then you can do that, do your own stuff and just have fun with it. So grab one of your main pieces out of your batting, and I like to use this and basically cut all of my squares out and place them back on top of it as sort of a guide. So I just choose a random measurement of a square that I'd like to do first of all and place it on top of my batting, and then I just continue this process, cutting out squares and then placing them on it to make sure that they're all going to line up and they sit all nicely on the batting and that I like the design. Make sure you remember though, when you cut out a square, you add enough for seam allowance. So obviously you're going to have on all of the edges a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I also like to, every say 5 squares that I've cut out and placed, sew them together and then place them back on the batting and repeat the process, so I don't lose track and get confused and things, and it's all easy to sew together. Make sure also you always press all of your seams, and I would also suggest you make your patchwork a little bit bigger than the actual batting, just in case anything happens when we quilt it, say it shrinks or something. So once you've done that with one of your main batting pieces, just repeat the process for the second. So pin your patchwork piece to your batting, and now we're going to quilt it. So you can choose what quilting design you would like to go with. I just decided to do simple vertical lines, and I just use my presser foot on my sewing machine as a ruler to guide me, but if not, you can draw with like an erasable marker the lines you would like to quilt. And then once you've quilted the entire piece, you can trim all of the excess patchwork around the edge of the batting. Then just repeat with your other patchwork and other batting piece. Now grab your 2 strap pieces and your outer base in both your main fabric and your batting fabric, and we're going to quilt those in the exact same way. So just pin the outer fabric to the batting and quilt it in the same way as you did your patchwork. Now grab one of your zips, one of your main pieces and your outer pocket piece. Now take your main piece and just find the center at the top and just mark it with a tailor's chalk or a pencil. And then take your ruler and measure 1 inch down from that center point. And then on your outer pocket piece, just find the center at the top and mark it with tailor's chalk or pencil. Now place your pocket right sides together with your main piece, matching the center point on the pocket piece with the center point that we marked 1 inch down on the main piece. Now just pin them in place, and now at the beginning you should have transferred some markings from the paper pattern onto the wrong side of your pocket piece. This is where we're now going to sew. So you're going to want to sew stitching directly on the lines of that rectangle. We're just going to sew around the rectangle, and then once you've sewn it, you're going to want to cut with your scissors along the inside line, the line that's inside the rectangle with those 2 like triangles at each end of the rectangle. Just cut along those lines, and then you can turn your pocket right sides out. Now this bit's a bit fiddly, but just fiddle with it, and then you're going to want to just make sure that you give it a good press with your iron. Now you're going to want to over sew around that rectangle we just made, and I like to make this sort of a decorative stitch, so I like to use a contrasting thread, and I sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now grab your zip and just pull the pull tab down about halfway down the zip, and then place your zip underneath that rectangle. So you're going to want to line it up so that the teeth are directly in the center of that rectangle. Then pin the zip in place, and we're now going to sew all of the way around that rectangle again. This time I would suggest you switch out your normal presser foot for a zipper presser foot on your sewing machine, and we're also this time going to be sewing with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. And there you go, you've just installed your zip. So now it's just time to finish the pocket. So fold your pocket piece in half, covering the zip at the back, and then just pin it together. And now we're going to sew all of the way around the 3 open sides of the pocket. but it gets a bit tricky when you get to the top because you don't want to sew through your main piece. You just want to grab the two sides of the pocket. So I would suggest when you sew it on your sewing machine, you stick with your zipper presser foot, as it's easier to get around the small part up at the top. And that is the first pocket all done. Now on the Joy bag, I always like to add a little embroidered logo of our name. So if you have any extra embellishments like that you would like to add, I would add them in now. Moving on to your inside pocket piece, just iron a double hem along the top edge of 1/4 of an inch and then another 1/4 of an inch, and then sew it closed. Then place your pocket piece on top of one of your lining main pieces, right sides facing up, and just match all of the notches on it and pin it in place. Then you're just going to want to baste all of the way around the edge. Now you're going to want to find the center of your pocket piece. You're going to want to just mark a center line all of the way down it. I'm just marking it with pins here, and then you're going to want to sew down that center line to make 2 pockets. Now grab your 2 zipper tabs and your remaining zip, and you're going to want to fold both of your zipper tabs in half. Then pin one of your zipper tabs to the end of your zip, overlapping the folded edge over the zip by about 1/4 of an inch. Pin it in place and then do the same thing with your other zipper tab on the other side of your zip. Then over sew along the folded side of your zipper tabs. Now find the center of your zip, and you're going to want to place your zip right sides together with the top of one of your main pieces, matching up the 2 center points. Pin the zip all of the way along your main piece, and then you're going to want to sew all of the way down it, once again using your zipper presser foot on your sewing machine. Now take your lining main piece that doesn't have the inside pocket sewn to it and place it right sides down on top of your main piece. So you're basically sandwiching the zip in between, and your main piece and your lining main piece are right sides together. Pin it all in place and sew down your zip once again. Then you're going to want to turn your pieces right sides out and then just give it a good press flat with your iron, and then trim any excess zipper tab at the edge. And now over sew along the top edge of your main piece about 1/4 of an inch away from your zipper. Now repeat that whole process with the other side of your zip and your remaining outer main piece and lining main piece. Now grab your lining base piece and pin it right sides together with one of your main lining pieces, matching all of the notches. And now you're going to want to sew all of the way around it, but stop about halfway down and leave about a 3-inch gap in your sewing. That 3-inch gap is going to be used later to turn your bag right sides out. Turn your lining base piece right sides out, and at that hole we just left in the sewing, you're going to want to press the seam allowance over to create 2 small hems so that you don't see any raw edges. Now this is for later, so just for now, once you've ironed it, you're then going to want to turn your base piece back wrong sides out, and then pin your other main lining piece to the other side of your lining base piece, but this time you're going to want to sew all of the way around it, not leaving any gaps. Now at each end where your zipper tabs are, you're going to want to make sure that your lining just sits flat against the outer pieces, and then just pin it temporarily in place. Now grab one of your strap tabs and you're going to want to pin it right sides together to the end of your bag. So where the zipper tabs are, pin it all the way along it, making sure that the lining is still flat on the other side. So all the way along your strap tab, and then turn it right sides out and over sew all of the way along it. Repeat with your other strap tab on the other side, and now this next step is really important. You're going to want to open your zip. If it's closed, you're going to be stuffed later on, so make sure it's open. Now you're going to want to pin one of the sides of your outer base piece with one of your outer main pieces, matching all of the notches. And ignore that my outer base piece has those 2 seams in it. Yours shouldn't, it's just my fabric wasn't long enough to cut it all in one long piece, so I had to kind of piece a couple of pieces together to make my outer base. And then once you pinned it all together, you're going to want to sew all of the way around it. Repeat with the other side of your outer base and your other outer main piece, pinning them together and then sewing them together. Now, using that gap we left in our lining, you're going to want to turn the entire bag right sides out. Moving on, you're going to want to take your strap piece and fold it right sides together and then pin along the long edge. And then you're just going to want to sew all of the way down that long edge. Then with the help of a safety pin, turn your strap piece right sides out and press it flat. Then you're going to want to over sew down both of the long sides. Now this may feel like you're reversing the steps we just did a moment ago, but you're going to want to reach inside of your bag, inside of that hole we made in the lining, and turn your strap tabs wrong sides out again. So you should pull them through the inside of your bag. And then you're going to want to push one of the ends of your strap piece in between the strap tab, matching up the ends, and then just sew along your strap tab. Repeat with the other side of your strap and your other strap tab, and then turn both of them right sides out. So the last thing to do is to over sew the hole in your lining closed. So that's why we hemmed it earlier on, so that it's really easy just to pin them together and over sew along it. And that is your bag all done. So today's was a bit of a lengthier tutorial because there are a bit more steps to sew the bag, but I think it is definitely worth it. So now that you have finished the tutorial, I hope you love your little joy bag, and if you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a like, give our channel a subscribe. But if you have any questions on how the bag is made, please feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer you. And so I will see you next time.